Welcome to SoulFish. This is a channel for spiritual growth and personal development. I am super happy you're here. Thank you for joining the community, and if you haven't, please like and subscribe, and always leave a comment. I love to hear what you have to say. What happens when you've reached your point? What happens when it's time to say, this is done? What happens when you've reached that moment where you say, this is no longer acceptable? You have to put your line in the sand, right? You say, cross over this, and everything changes. And that's the time we're in right now. And it's okay. You know, there's a point where you grow. And in growing, by saying yes to these things, you have to say no to these things. And sometimes that's really hard, because it can be a person, it can be a particular habit that you have. It can be lots of different things that you ultimately have to say no to. So what do you do when that happens? You know, the courage is in making that change. It's not what happens before and after the change. It's in the moment where you make that change. That's where you have to find your courage and say, it's going to be okay. You know, a lot of people fear change. A lot of people think that somehow whatever they do next that they're not aware of, haven't done, there's this kind of black void of the unknown, right? They think that, you know, there's going to be a lot more pain there, or negativity, or whatever you want to call it, whatever they're afraid of, right? There's going to be a lot more of that there than there is with where they're standing. And my experience has shown, and with all the people I've worked with, that it rarely happens. I really can't, I'm only going to say that it's got to happen at some point statistically, but I have not run across that. You never feel worse than where you are in that moment that made you want to change. You know, when the fear of something remaining the same is stronger than the fear of change, is when you'll ultimately make that switch. And so now, while we're in between book 1 and book 2, we're in this middle space, and you're being worked on, and you're working on yourself to say, hey, I don't need these things in book 2 to carry forward. It means that you're going to have to say no to a few things and mean it. And it could change things for you that you're not anticipating. You might get more change than you anticipated by putting your foot down and saying, this is important to me, and I'm no longer willing to accept that. So today, I want to encourage you to put your line in the sand. I want to encourage you to say that you're worth it. You know, I'm worth it. My feelings matter, and that this is important to me, and it's so important to me that I'm not willing to go back on that. By just making that simple commitment, everything will open up for you, and things will change, because you have said that they have to. Till next time, much love.